Rasco's Law, December 25th, 2016. So we just got the first trailer for Alien Covenant, and I am so excited to talk about this because Alien is my favorite franchise, Ridley Scott is my favorite director, so why would I not be excited for this movie? So on the Alien movie timeline, Alien Covenant falls between Prometheus and Alien, but it is closer on that timeline to Prometheus. And it is essentially going to be a movie about a group of colonists on the ship The Covenant that are heading to a planet to colonize this planet and live on it. This planet also happens to be the planet that David and Dr. Elizabeth Shaw from Prometheus landed on after the events of Prometheus. If you remember that end of that film, they get in a space jockey ship and they take off and they go on a mission to find the engineer's homeworld. So this planet that they are on in this movie is likely the engineer's homeworld. We don't know for sure because we didn't really see any, things that would lead us to believe there's a civilization on this planet or anything like that. Maybe the engineers have all died. We don't know. But we do know that the Covenant is heading to this planet, and this planet is also the planet where Elizabeth Shaw and David landed their ship on. So that's how it's going to connect to Prometheus. But yeah, let's get into some of the things about this trailer that I absolutely love, and I'm so excited to talk about. So, this film is in many ways trying to keep the big science fiction ideas of Prometheus, answer some of those questions that people have coming out of Prometheus, but at the same time take us back to the horror sci-fi elements that people love about the original Alien film, and that's really exciting to me. So this trailer really tries to stress that this is going to be a dark movie, this is going to be a gritty movie, this is going to be a gory movie, this is going to be a suspenseful movie, and the point totally comes across, and I really like that. This movie, it looks like it's going to be violent and intense, and that's what you want in an Alien film, I guess. It's what I want, at least. So I'm really excited. This trailer on a tonal level totally works for me, and it gets me really excited because we're really trying to get back to the roots of Alien, it seems. I really like some of the specific details in some of the design of the ship and the spacesuits and the clothing and the interiors and all that kind of stuff. We're really getting back to the Alien future aesthetic, which is very lo-fi, sci-fi, tactile type, very blocky buttons and knobs and switches and all that kind of stuff. If you look at the one shot in the trailer where it shows like the computer in the cockpit with all the little buttons and stuff, you see that we've gone back to the very simple screens of the original Alien film where it's black screens with like colored text on them. We don't have any holograms, it looks like, based on this trailer. I didn't see any holograms, and that's good because one of the things that bugged me the most about Prometheus is that they totally ditched the Alien ship design and the futuristic aesthetic of Alien. Alien, traditionally, the spaceships are kind of like Star Trek spaceships where they're not necessarily designed to land on planets. They're more meant to function in zero-gravity environments. And I think that this trailer establishes that. I could be wrong, and in the movie, the Covenant is designed to land on planets, but it doesn't look like it. The Covenant is really long, and it's really flat, and I think it really looks cool. It looks like a ship that should belong in the Alien universe because it looks like a ship that's meant to be in outer space in a zero-gravity environment, and that really works. What I didn't like about the Prometheus, in the movie Prometheus, is the Prometheus it's very aerodynamic, and it's like a one-and-all kind of ship. It's like it can land on planets, it can fly through space. And traditionally, Alien has always, and even in Aliens, the ships in Alien have always been, the big ship that's meant to take you from one place to the next, but you go down to the surface of a planet in a shuttle. You don't land the whole ship, you take a shuttle down to the surface, and this trailer demonstrates that, and I really like that they paid attention to that and they went back to that specific detail. So All of the design elements of this look great. We see a little bit of what the spacesuits look like. They look a lot more like the spacesuits from the original Alien film. They don't look so sleek and skin tight like they did in Prometheus. And again, all of these things are good because what works about Alien is that it's one of the more ugly and depressing futures that have been depicted in science fiction, but it is kind of a realistic one. It seems like it's more kind of function over aesthetic from like inside the universe. It seems like the way the ships are designed in Alien are to be functional, not visually pleasing, whereas Prometheus kind of went the opposite, where it's like, oh, they should look cool, and that's not what we're about. Alien is about ugly, blocky ships and, very old school buttons and switches and knobs and simplicity. And I really, really, really like that about all of the design elements in this trailer. Some of the casting in this trailer is so spot on. I already knew certain people that had been cast in this film, but just seeing them in the roles, it works so well. Danny McBride is the real standout for me. I think that is beyond perfect casting. He looks like he's going to be the pilot of the ship. I love how he puts on the little hat. That's a very nice little detail for his character. And it really goes back to the idea of these are truckers in space, which is what the original Alien film was kind of trying to play to. These are people that should be very normal. They should come across like everyday people that don't see all of this science fiction technology as really interesting or wowing. This is just their life. This is just their reality, right? That's what worked about all of the characters in the original Alien film. You're not meant to get into their heads. You're meant to see them as normal, everyday people. And the way that they are so casual and how they casually interact with their environments, it's very human, and it plays to how people today act when they're at work, when they're driving a car, all these things, right? It's very casual. Everyone interacts with all of the sciencey technology in a very casual manner, and that's what really works about it. The people are very human and very similar to the people of today right now, but their world they live in is very different from ours. And this trailer absolutely gets that right. And Danny McBride is perfect casting if that's what you're going to go for when it comes to character, because he's a comedic actor. But I think what works about comedic actors is that they're really good at doing the kind of casual banter, but also giving you reasons to like them, because comedic actors always bring personality to the roles that they play. That's something I very rarely see in a movie, where there's a comedic actor whose character has no personality. That rarely ever happens. So Danny McBride, that kind of casting decision really works for me, and it looks like he's going to be one of the bigger roles in the film. He might be like the main supporting actor, because as far as we know, Catherine Waterston, she is the lead. There were some rumors that she was going to be the mother of Ripley. I don't think that's going to be the case. For one, I don't think Ridley Scott would do that. I think that Prometheus doesn't do a lot of cutesy wink-wink prequel fan service stuff. I don't like that kind of stuff. I'm glad it's not in Prometheus. I don't think he's going to start doing that here. I think Catherine Waterston is going to be a completely original character. I don't think that she's going to have any ties to Ripley from the original Alien film. The fact that her name is Daniels, which is her last name, I'm assuming, because everyone in the Alien franchise typically goes by their last name. The fact that her name is Daniels leads me to believe that, yeah, she's not Ripley's mother, because the only way that she could be Ripley's mother at this point is if she got married later on to a guy with the last name Ripley, and then they had a daughter, and I don't think that's what they're going to do. I really hope it's not. I don't think there's reason to worry here. I think that this movie's going to be smarter than that. So hopefully that's the case. We also have 2 androids played by Michael Fassbender. The trailer doesn't really establish that, but that is something we know based on stuff that Ridley Scott and some of the cast members have said. There's 2 androids. The one that we see most of the time in this trailer is named Walter, and he is a newer, more refined version of David. And how they described his character in relation to David is that David is much more of a person. He's got wants and needs and desires, and he has an ego, whereas Walter is more just a servant, and he's kind of what you would want a servant engineer robot to be. You don't need the robot with personality and his own personal agenda, because that can wind up poorly. like with David in the original Prometheus. So it's going to be really interesting to see the two robots interact. David and Walter, I really think there's going to be a lot of interesting parallels there, a lot of cool science fiction ideas. Like I said, I think I said this earlier in this video, this really seems like it's going to keep the big science fiction ideas of Prometheus, but get back to the tone, atmosphere, and in just overall feel of Alien. And that's totally what I want. So the last thing I'll talk about, and actually, I'll go ahead and say this. By the way, this trailer looks visually amazing. It just looks so beautiful. Ridley Scott is a great director. Prometheus, you can say a lot of things about Prometheus. The thing you cannot say is that is not a beautiful movie. Prometheus is one of the most visually stunning films I think ever made. It's got some of the best CG in anything. It is seamless, and it holds up perfectly even to this day. I know that movie's not super old, but it doesn't look dated at all, and that's a movie I don't think will ever look dated. I have all the confidence in the world that this movie will have some of the best CG and some of the most amazing visuals of any movie this year, or I guess next year, because it's coming out next year. Less than 5 months away, I think. So that's really exciting. But like I was saying, the trailer looks great. I expected that from Ridley Scott. But let's get into some of the questiony, theorizing stuff that we have, because we do know that there are going to be apparently multiple types of aliens in this. So it looks like we're going to have the more traditional alien. I don't know if it's going to be the exact alien from the original Alien franchise. It's probably going to be a slightly earlier evolution of it, because the facehugger egg that we see a traditional straight up facehugger, which is really exciting. But the egg looks a little bit different. It looks a little bit bigger than the eggs from the original Alien. So it's likely that there is like a version of the alien in this movie that is very, very similar to the alien from the original franchise, and that's probably the alien that we saw on the poster. And then there are also going to be presumably maybe another type of alien that comes from those spores that it shows going into that guy's ear. I don't know. So we also see the scene in the beginning of the trailer with the guy who has his back bursting open. Apparently there's going to be, instead of a chest burster, there's going to be a back burster. And I don't know if that's going to be the more traditional alien, or if that's going to be the alien that comes from the spores getting in your ears. I don't know if the spores getting into your ears are going to morph you into an alien. I don't know. All we do know is that at least one of the alien types in this movie is called the neomorph. That's a term that I've heard thrown around specifically from Michael Fassbender. So a lot of exciting things in this trailer. I'm just so excited for this movie. I cannot wait. I'm really excited. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will check it out. Peace out.